today's episode of flower, the structure and its functions. Now, what are the learning objectives of today's lesson? The learning objectives of today's lesson is the importance of flowers for a plant. Now, the typical structure of a bisexual flowers. We will study about what is pedicel. We will study about what is receptacle. We will study about different floral holes. And we will also study about the nectaries. Complete and incomplete flowers are also there in today's topic, and we are also going to discuss about the essential and the non-essential parts of a flower. Okay, is it clear? So let us start with today's topic. Now first we should know that what is the importance of flower. Now flowers, actually what are they? We know that all the plants are having flowers. So what are they? Flowers are mainly the reproductive parts of plants which are mainly responsible for what? Production of gametes. So they are the reproductive parts of the plants which are mainly responsible for the production of gametes. Now flowers, we can say that they are modified shoot and they are modified leaves into floral parts. Now it develops from a bud in the axil of a small leaf-like structure which is called the bract. So what is a bract? This is actually a new term. A bract is generally, it is actually green in color. A bract is always green in color, and a bract, what is it? It is actually the small leaf-like structure from which the bud is growing. So that is the bract. Now trees which have flowers are called flowering plants, such as angiosperms, and many trees which do not have flowers, such as pine, firs, redwoods, which do not have flowers at all, they are called gymnosperms. So we have divided these flowers into two plants into two parts, that is angiosperms, that is having flowers, and another is gymnosperms which do not have flowers, okay, do not produce flowers. So these are the two types of trees we have described about here. Now again, when we move on to a bit details, we will see that trees this angiosperm and gymnosperms are again divided and subdivided into many more parts. This is actually not required in your portion for class 9th. Now we will move on to see the structure of a typical bisexual flower. So what does this bisexual flower mean? Now this bisexual flower actually means that a plant which is having both male and female flowers. Now let us see what is there in the next slide. Now this is a typical structure of a bisexual flower. Okay, so what is a bisexual flower? Now bisexual flower is a plant which is having both male and female flowers. Now let us see that the structure of the idealized flower. Now these are all the different parts we are going to study in details in the next episode or the next part. Just you get acquainted with this picture, and this is a picture you should learn with a label diagram. It is this part you are going to have in your exam. So this diagram should be learned thoroughly with the labelings. Okay, so let us see. This is the carpel. Okay, this is the carpel, this is the stamen, and this has two parts, the anther and the filament. And this carpel has three parts, stigma, style and ovary. So this is the male part and this is the female part. Okay, now this is the petal. So these are petals. This green part is the sepal and this is the receptacle. Okay, these parts we are going to study in details in the coming slides, but here we are just getting acquainted with this structure or with this diagram. Okay, so is it clear to everyone? This is the anther, this is the filament, this is style, stigma, ovary, this is the carpel or this is the female part, and this is the male part. So let us move on to the next slide where we are going to discuss about the pedicel. So this is a new term you are learning. So what is the pedicel? Now we all know that flowers are growing from a specialized branch or a stalk. So this stalk is called the pedicel. Okay, this is a specialized stalk or a branch from which the flower is growing. This is called a pedicel. Now pedicel, in many flowers that pedicel is branched. So many flowers are growing from one pedicel. It is branch type. So that as example is lilac. Now here you can see that this pedicel is a branched pedicel. Okay, what is it? It is a branched pedicel. And many flowers are there, they are without pedicel. Those flowers are called sessile flowers. Sessile flowers means the flowers are produced from without the stalk. They are from the stem itself, the flowers start growing. So they are called sessile flowers. They don't have the pedicel. Now next we are going to discuss about what is the receptacle. These are the new terms you are getting to know from this lesson. That first we have discussed about the pedicel, then we have discussed about bract, and now we have come to receptacle. So what is a receptacle? Now here in the diagram you see the swollen part. The pedicel is swelling at a part. It is swelling at the tip into a small cup-like thing which is called the receptacle or the thalamus. So thalamus, it is having different shapes. So it is either flat, it is either conical, it is either concave, or it is either dome shaped, and it is having different species. Now all the floral holes arise from the receptacle. So all floral holes are arising from receptacles. Now you can see this is a floral hole which is arising from a receptacle. This is having different shapes. It is either flat, either conical, either concave, or dome shaped. Now all the flowers, they arise from receptacle. We are seeing that this pedicel, they swell up into a cup shaped thing, that is the receptacle, and then the flower is blooming from that. Now another new term, what is nectar is. So nectar, we all know that it is a sweet fragrant liquid that is secreted by most of the flowers, and these flowers, they have nectar secreting cells. Now these nectar secreting cells are called nectaries. So nectaries are actually found near the base of the pistil or on the base of the petals. Now we see that the honey, they come and sit on the petals to have the nectar or the sweet fragrant liquid that is actually attracting them for the cross pollination. So this pollination and all also I'll be talking to you. Pollination, cross pollination, you will be studying here only. So how this scented fragrant liquid attracts? So they produce a fragrant sweet liquid which is having a sweet fragrance. The honeybees, they come and sit on that. So they carry on the carpels, they sit on the stamens, they carry the reproductive parts from one flower to the another. So this is how the cross pollination happens, and these are actually present at the base of the pistil or at the base of the petals. Okay, in nasturtium flowers, the nectaries are very large and prominent. So there is a flower named nasturtium. So it is nasturtium flowers, the nectaries are very large and very prominent. So this is all about the nectaries. So these nectar secreting cells are called nectaries. So is it clear to everyone? The nectar secreting cells are called nectaries. So these nectar secreting cells are called nectaries, which are present mainly at the base of the pistil or the base of the petals. And nasturtium flower, they have large and prominent nectaries. Let us move on to the next part of this slide, which is the complete and the incomplete flower. So what is a complete flower? A flower which is having all four holes or floral structures, that is calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. These are the main four parts of a flower. A flower which is having all four types of floral structures are called calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium is called a complete flower. And what is an incomplete flower? If any one of this floral parts is missing, it is called an incomplete flower. And what are the essential and the non-essential parts of a flower? Now those parts of a flower which is actually concerned with reproduction. So if it is concerned with reproduction, it is called the essential part. I have already told you earlier that the stamens are the male parts, that is the stamens which are having the anther and the filament, that is the male part, and the carpels, these are the female parts of the flower. So the carpels having style, stigma and ovary. So the male parts, these stamens, which what are these stamens having? They are having anther and filament. If you remember the diagram which I have showed you, they are having anther and filament, and the carpel, the female part, it is having the style, stigma and ovary, right? So this is having the style, stigma and ovary. Now those parts of a flower which are actually they are not at all related to the reproduction, these are the non-essential parts. So essential parts, we are done with that. The male and female reproductive parts of a flower are the essential parts, whereas the non-essential parts of a flower are what? Which are not taking direct part in reproduction. Is it clear? Now they simply help in either protecting the reproductive parts or making the flower attractive for pollination. That is sepals and petals. These are actually not at all important for the plant, but they are making the flower more attractive for pollination. So they do not either produce any male reproductive part or any female reproductive organs. They are not related to that, but they are making the flower more attractive. They are making the flower more colorful, so that these petals, if they are having different beautiful colors, if they are having the fragrant liquid which is producing smell, they'll attract insects. So they are non-essential parts, but they are helping for pollination process. So these are the non-essential part. Now this part is this is the part actually for today which I wanted to teach you, because this is the introductory part of the flower. Now next we will come in details with the calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium in details, that is having many different parts. So if I start that with this part, you will be confused. So later second video I will be uploading with this complete structure of a parts of a flower. Now this is just a quick introduction that you are getting acquainted with the terms pedicel, receptacle, bract and the floral holes. You get to know what are nectaries, and we can quickly sum up what is a complete flower, what is an incomplete flower, and what are essential and what are non-essential parts of a flower. So I think till now you are clear with this lesson, this part of flower structural and its function. Now let us complete this lesson today like this only, and if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel so that you get to know my updates, and please don't forget to share with your friends also, and they will get to learn this lesson in an easier manner. Thank you.